Control players denied.
Hey Control Nation, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dr. Red. In this video, we are reviewing all of the cards with free retreat and all the cards that retreat lock. Use the chapters to find what you like, and I'll be adding some commentary on deck lists and ideas you might try. Please add your own in the comments. I also want to thank the channel members, the Arborists. Thank you for your support and in making CPU what it is, and thank you to all the Discord members who keep the conversation going. So let's get started with all the free retreaters, starting with the ever-famous Budew. Itchy Pollen does 10 base damage. During your opponent's next turn, they can't play any item cards from their hand. This is great in setup decks, like Dragapult that want to take their time getting ready. But really, it's good in anything just to slow your opponent down, even mid-match, stopping something like Superior Energy Retrieval from being used. Leadian has the Shred attack, and when the Glittering Star pattern ability, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may switch to one of your opponent's bench that has 90 HP or less remaining in the active spot. No need to play it if Hop's double, can just do it without the 90 HP requirement, but Swift is a nice addition. Nimble, if you're going to play low kick. Scyther, this is paired with Scizor in Archaludon EX decks. Shaman, Pinpoint Dive, 60 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon EX or bench Pokemon V, which have since rotated, then you can just retreat it out of the active. Castform, Sunny Form, you could use this in a fire deck like Gouging Fire EX, Sunny Assist, move all energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. Cinderace EX is its own archetype, doesn't see any play. Garnet Volley does 180 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, that includes bench Pokemon. Flare Strike does 280 base damage, but you can't use it on the next turn. Magmi, you might see it in Frost Last Spread. Scorching Heater, during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon is damaged by an attack. Put 6 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. Moltres, this is seen in the Arcanine deck they give you when you first log into Live. Blazing Flight does 120 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, but you discard 2 fire. And if it has any fire attached, it has a free retreat. Rapidash, just straight up free retreat. Articuno, same as Moltres with Ice Fluid ability. Blizzard does 10 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Garchomp EX, famous for Hydrolander, 160 base damage for 1 fighting energy. Attach 3 fighting energy cards from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon any way you like. It's its own archetype. Mantike, Boon Healing, heal 120 from one of your bench Pokemon. Elekid is in Frost Last Spread, 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Emolga, Skywave, 10 damage to each of your bench Pokemon. Iono's Electrode has the free retreat. Thump Thump Boom is flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is KO'd. Jolteon, linear attack, 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. This is sometimes seen in Flareon EX box decks because of Fighting Lightning. 90 plus 90 more of your opponent's actives to Pokemon EX. There's the Jolteon EX attack. Pokemon Flashing Spear does 60 base damage plus 90 more damage for each energy card you discard from your bench Pokemon. It should say basic energy. 1 lightning, 1 colorless energy. Kilowattrel, Jetwing doesn't do much. 150, then it can't attack. Give you another Kilowattrel with United Thunder. This is made to be played with the United Wings deck. 10 damage for each Pokemon you discard pile that has United Wings to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Kilowattrel EX, Return Charge, switch this Pokemon to one of your bench. If you do, attach 2 basic lightning energy cards from your hand to this Pokemon. That's for Thunderlance, 40 plus 40 more for each lightning energy attached. We have a Miraidon EX with a free retreat that doesn't see any play. Rapid Draw draws 2, Techno Turbo 150 base damage, and attach a basic lightning from your discard to one of your bench Pokemon. Palmonth, Electrogenesis, once during your turn, switch your deck for a basic lightning, attach it to this Pokemon, 230 base damage, and then discard all energy. That's the meme archetype. Palmonth EX is the same thing. Levin Strike, discard 2 lightning energy from this Pokemon. Does 220 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. I pair that with Power Glass, get it back quicker. Pikachu EX is the one that at one point was being treated like a Terramon with a Terra Ball. Dynamic Volt, 220, flip a coin, if heads, discard all energy from this Pokemon. Tapu Koko EX is seen as a one-of in a number of decks, especially Miraidon EX. Link Lightning, 60 plus 20 more damage for each of your benched Pokemon. Zapdos EX, if it has any lightning energy attached, has no retreat cost. This was like a meme for Miraidon when it first came out. Multi-shot lightning, 120 plus 90. Attacks 9 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has any damage counters on it. Clefable EX is a meme as well. Lunar Zone, all of your Pokemon with Psychic Energy attached have no retreat cost. Wondrous Moon lets you move any amount of Psychic Energy from your Pokemon to any of your other Pokemon any way you like. Cleffa has the Grasping draw 7, so you have 7 in your hand. It's great in all sorts of decks. The other Cleffa, which nobody knows about, Twinkling Hope, search your deck for 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, shuffle your deck. Flittle is the base form of Espathra EX, and there's Baby Espathra. Eye Strength, during your opponent's next turn, the Pokemon can't retreat. Psychic, 30 plus 50 more for each energy attached to your opponent's active. Espathra with Galaxy Foil has a heal attack. Gengar has a free retreat. Poltergeist, 50 for each trainer card you find in your opponent's hand. This could be paired with something like Bayonet EX Item Lock or Budew. Lanios Mistfloat, if it has any psychic energy attached, it has no retreat cost. Lanios EX is in all sorts of big basic decks. Skyliner, your basic Pokemon in play have no retreat cost, including Lanios EX itself. Lily's Cutiefly has free retreat for the Lily's Ribombee, which states inviting Wink ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, have your opponent reveal their hand, put a number of basic Pokemon you find there onto their bench. This would be great if your opponent has a Terramon in play. You play Area 0 Underdepths, you put those Pokemon onto the bench, and you just get rid of the stadium as soon as possible. MEW EX, famous for its restart ability. Once during your turn, you may draw a card, so you have 3 in your hand. Also, Genome Hacking, 3 colorless energy. Choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks, use it as this attack. Mime Jr., really fun meme card. Your opponent chooses an attack from one of your Pokemon in play, use this chosen attack as this attack. Ribombee, Plentiful Pollen. I've seen this paired with Charizard EX, but it fell off pretty quickly. For 30 base damage, 1 colorless energy. During your next turn, if the defending Pokemon is knocked out, take 2 more prize cards. Smooth Jump, Delightful Kiss. Search your deck for 2 basic psychic energy cards. Attach them to one of your bench Pokemon. Togekiss, Precious Gift. Once at the end of your turn, you may use this ability. Draw until you have 8 cards in your hand. Whimsicott just has Fairy Wind for 50 base damage. Bonsly, Blubbering. Your opponent's active Pokemon is confused. This is good for stalling any point in the match, particularly endgame, if you're trying to get a control win. Toedscroll has Secret Forest Path ability. As long as the Pokemon is on your bench, your active Pokemon's retreat cost is 2 colors less. That includes Toedscroll itself. Crobat has Echoing Madness. Choose items or supporters during your opponent's next turn. They can't play any of those from their hand. The other Crobat, Shadowy Envoy. If you play Janine's Secret Art during this turn, draw until you have 8 in your hand. Poison Fang, 120 base damage, but you put 2 damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon, which is now poison instead of 1. Or Peko. This is in all sorts of darkness decks. And Hungry Hurry. If this Pokemon has no energy attached, it has no retreat cost. Sneasel just has free retreat. Archaludon with Metal Bridge ability. All of your Pokemon that have basic metal energy attached have no retreat cost. Does not see any play in Archaludon EX decks. Dragonite, Jet Cruise. Your Pokemon in play have no retreat cost. This doesn't see any play anywhere. Aerodactyl, Devolution Ray, 100 base damage, 2 colorless energy. If your opponent's active is an evolved Mon, devolve by putting the highest stage evolution card on it into your opponent's hand. This would be great against something like Dragapult or Charizard if you can get the Antique Old Amber on the bench, which is an item card. Cyclizar, Touring, draw 2 cards. It's a good pivoting card. Dunsparce for the Do Dunsparce Engine or Do Dunsparce EX. Has Dig, flip a coin of heads, prevent all damage from effective attacks on this Pokemon. Fearow, the alternative, Bird Control, Beak Catch, search your deck for 3 cards, put them in your hand, shuffle your deck. Spearow has a turn 2 evolve right away into Fearow ability as well. Lanoon has free retreat. Noivern with Tuning Echo. If you have the same number of cards in your hand as your opponent, ignore all energy cost and the cost of the Frightening Howl attack used by this Pokemon. You can pair this with Ninetales EX or just have to do math for how you can get your hand size the same as your opponent's. Noivern EX, the ever famous, ever dangerous wall stall Pokemon. Covert Flight. During your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done on this Pokemon by attacks from basic Pokemon. 70 base damage, 2 colorless energy. Pidgeotto on its way to Pidgeot EX has free retreat. There's Baby Pidgeot, which also has free retreat. And there's the ever famous Pidgeot EX with the Pidgeot Control Archetype. Quick Search. Once during your turn, search your deck for a card, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. Can't use more than one of these each turn. Eradicate, which sees no play. Second Bite, 30 plus 30 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon for 2 colorless energy. Talonflame, free retreat. It's made to be played with Gravity Gemstone. Tandem Mouse, damage rush, going until you get tails. This attack does 10 damage for each heads. You can use it as the base for Mousehold EX. Solidarity, if this Pokemon's in the active and is damaged by an attack, put 3 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon for each of your Tandem Mouse, Mousehold EX in play. Tranquil has a free retreat on its way to being Unpheasant, which has the opposing Winds attack for 70 base damage, 2 colorless energy. You may put 2 energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon into their hand. Great energy denial. Pokemon. Beach Court, retreat cost of each basic Pokemon in play is 1 colorless less. End's Castle, all of End's Pokemon in play have no retreat cost. Big Air Balloon, Stage 2 Pokemon this card is attached to has no retreat cost. This is particularly good if you're going to do Venusaur EX Heal Control. Future Booster Energy Capsule, the feature Pokemon this card is attached to has no retreat cost. Rescue Board, this is great for small cards like Mimikyu or even bigger mons like Cornerstone Mask Ogre Pony X with 1 retreat cost. The retreat cost of this Pokemon this card is attached to is 1 less, but if its remaining HP is 30 or fewer, it has no retreat cost whatsoever. Then we're back to the beginning. Next, we have all the retreat locking mons. First, we have Ariados with Big Net. Your opponent's active evolution Pokemon's retreat cost is one colorless more. This is often paired with Spidops EX, which we'll see here later. Bellsprout has Bind Down, can't retreat. The Leap, evolving from Antique Root Fossil, opponent's Pokemon can't retreat. Maractus is seen all over Frostlass Spread Control. Corner Attack says you can't retreat. Exploding Needles, if it's in the active and is KO'd, you put 6 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. Rillaboom has Drum Beating for 1 grass, 60 base damage. During your opponent's next turn, attacks used by the defending Pokemon cost 1 colorless more, and its retreat cost is 1 colorless more. This is often seen as an additional attacker in Festival Lead decks. Roserade has Bind Down, defending Pokemon can't retreat. Scovillain EX Chili Snapper Bind. Your opponent's active is burned and it can't retreat. Two-Headed Crushing is famous for discarding a card from your opponent's hand and the top of your deck. It's its own archetype. Tarantula, Bind Down, defending Pokemon can't retreat. There's the Spidops EX we mentioned. Trap Territory ability. Your opponent's active Pokemon retreat cost is 1 colorless more. Wire Hang for 1 grass, 1 colorless energy. 90 plus 30 more damage for each of your colorless. Each colorless in your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. Trevenant, lock up. You can use this with Reversal Energy. This is made to be paired with Claydol because of Forest Miasma. Put a damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon when this Pokemon is in the active spot. Talonflame, Clutch, your opponent's Pokemon can't retreat. Turtonator, really awkward Ring of Fire. 50 base damage, 2 colorless, 1 fire energy. Your opponent's active is now burned. During your opponent's next turn, that Pokemon can't retreat. Bruxish, counter attack. If it's hit by damage from an opposing Pokemon's attacks in the active, put 3 damage counters on it. Has an awkward cost with 1 colorless, 1 water. Doesn't see much play. Omastar with Primordial Tentacles. This is the replacement for Block Snorlax, although it's a stage 2 and really awkward to get in play. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponent's active Pokemon can't retreat, and for that reason, you might want to just completely avoid Aqua Split altogether. Sneasel has Beset. Your opponent's next turn, defending Pokemon can't retreat. Totodile is one of the 2 preferred retreat lockers in the format. Big Bite. Your opponent's next turn, defending Pokemon can't retreat. This is used with Relicanth in Feraligatr decks. Wellspring Mask Ogre Pony EX is also another preferred one. This is used oftentimes in Pidgeot Control. Sob. During opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat. Attach a Sparkling Crystal, attacks for free. Wugtrio, Entwining Entrapment, Pokemon your opponent's active can't retreat. Wugtrio EX, Numbing Hold. During your opponent's next turn, defending Pokemon can't retreat. Luxio, on its way to Luxray EX. Big Bite, your opponent's next turn, Pokemon can't retreat. Magnezone, this would be good with Reversal Energy. Mighty Magnetism, your opponent's active Pokemon is confused and can't retreat. Delmise, Bind Down, your opponent's next turn, defending Pokemon can't retreat. Dusknoir actually has a retreat locking attack with Shadow Bind, but it's famous for its Curse Blast, putting 13 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. Espathra has Ice Rank. During your opponent's next turn, defending Pokemon can't retreat. Goreice has Shadow Bind, same as Dusknoir 3, 2 colorless, 1 psychic, 100 base damage. Opponent's Pokemon can't retreat. Houndstone EX has Big Bite. This is a meme deck. Meme archetype. Palisand EX Sandtomb. During opponent's next turn, defending Pokemon can't retreat, but it's 160 base damage. Might KO something in 2 shots. Hop Sandaconda. Rumble. During opponent's next turn, defending Pokemon can't retreat. Knockley is the other preferred one in addition to Totodile. During opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat. This is good because you can trap a Latios EX or a Mew EX or anything psychic that resists the fighting type. Sandslash, Rumble. During opponent's next turn, defending Pokemon can't retreat. Stunfisk has Rumble. Defending Pokemon can't retreat. Arbok EX has Bind Down, 70 base damage, 2 Darkness Energy. Defending Pokemon can't retreat. Really hard to get this thing going no matter what you're pairing it with. Bombardier has Knick-Knack Carrying. Search deck for 3 tool cards. Put them into your hand, but then it has Clutch. The defending Pokemon can't retreat. Grimer, Gummy Press. The defending Pokemon's retreat cost is 1 colorless more on their next turn. the base form of Muck, which has Sticky Jail, 30 base damage, 1 Darkness Energy. During your opponent's next turn, attacks used by the defending Pokemon cost 1 colorless more, and its retreat cost is 1 colorless more. Inkay, Hug, defending Pokemon can't retreat. Mighty Yena, Corner, defending Pokemon can't retreat. Holding Clotsire EX, Poison Ring, defending Pokemon can't retreat, and they're also poisoned. The baby Paldean Clodsire has the same thing, Poison Ring. Active Pokemon's poison and they can't retreat. The ever famous Pecharunt with Toxic Subjugation. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, put 5 more damage counters on your opponent's poison Pokemon during Pokemon Checkup. It is paired with Root Bonnet and the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. It is being paired with a lot of different archetypes at this point just to get that extra damage down. But in case you need to retreat lock your opponent, Poison Chain for 1 Darkness, 1 colorless energy will do that and does 10 base damage. Whirlipede, Poison Ring, defending Pokemon is poison and it can't retreat. Orthworm EX, similar to Palisand EX. Rock Tomb, 150 base damage, 4 colorless energy. During your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat. That's good for KOing something like a Pidgeot EX. Corvisquire, Clutch, defending Pokemon can't retreat. Now we're into the trainers. Calamitous Wasteland. The retreat cost of each basic non-fighting Pokemon in play is 1 colorless more. Gravity Gemstone, as long as the Pokemon cards in the attached to a Pokemon in the active, the retreat cost of both active Pokemon is 1 colorless more. So imagine forcing your opponent to attach an energy to Budew to get it out of the active. Maybe you have a Mimikyu in the active and your opponent has a Charizard EX. You attach the Gravity Gemstone, make it retreat by getting rid of 3 energy instead of 2. And then we are back to the beginning. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please take care of yourselves, and may God hold you in the palm of his hand.